Well, cancel culture in California continues as San Francisco's Board of Education voting to change the names of 44 schools named after Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. The board says any figures that engaged in the subjugation and enslavement of human beings, oppressed women, inhibited societal progress, or whose actions led to genocide can't have schools named after them. This comes as the school board president says any critics of the move are undermining anti-racist work. Joining us now to discuss is former congressional candidate and Navy veteran Joe Collins. Joe, thank you very much. This seems extreme. I think most people in this country have always looked at George Washington and Abraham Lincoln as maybe imperfect human beings, but certainly positive for the development of our country.
Yes, absolutely, they are. And, you know, Abraham Lincoln doing what he did to free the slaves, George Washington being one of the first presidents. I think that, you know, when you have school board members who use their opinions to influence the entire school system, that's where we have a problem. That's where these people need to be elected out of office, and we need new blood into office. But, you know, furthermore, it's like you're using your personal opinion to change or cancel out the entire history of the United States. The history that we used in order to get us to where we are now, we can continue to use in order to create better policy for the future.
Yeah, Joe, we hear this a lot, but by doing this, we are erasing history, and we learn from history, as you just mentioned. It's so important to have it.
Yes, and we have to ask ourselves, are these people learning from history, or are they playing victim? Do they want to have this victim mentality? And I think the victim mentality needs to get canceled through cancel culture as well, because you know, this is America. This is the land of the free, the home of the brave, and this is what those men fought for. That's what they stood for. You know, regardless if you like the American history or not, it happened to us, and we have to use that in order to learn and move forward.
Yeah, we know that California is a blue state, although once you get outside of the big cities, that's not necessarily the case. And I'm curious how this is playing with the rest of the state. Because we can look at it and say it's crazy, but are people there on board with this wokeness, or do they think even this is a step too far?
You know, sometimes you could be so woke to where you're still asleep, and I think this is a step too far. But the great thing about this and what we've been doing across California is that we've been opening a lot of people's eyes, and we've been moving the political party spectrum from the conversation and talking about real issues. Now, California, because it is a Democratic conglomerate, has had a lot of issues when it comes to education, removing trades, removing pertinent information from the education system, which leads to the downgrade of the California education system. Now you have more people who want to get involved in removing Gavin Newsom, get involved in running for office. And, you know, we have more people getting involved, which is what we absolutely need.
Yeah, Joe, I was reading this article, and some parents were saying, look, this may be a good idea, but the priority right now should be getting kids back to school.
Yes, and it should be getting kids back to school, bringing new jobs back, better quality jobs back to California, figuring out ways for us to be able to boost our California economy, because right now we have tanked. We have to figure out our illegal immigration problem. We have more problems to solve than, you know, let's change the name of some schools. I think that we need to get back to the business of making California better. We need to get back to the business of the Californians, the citizens of California.
Joe, give me the lay of the land as far as Gavin Newsom and the recall is concerned. It looks like, I don't know if they've reached that magic number yet, but it looks like they're pretty close. And then there would be an election, but there could be a lot of people in that. Is it possible he actually wins that election?
You know, I do not think that Gavin Newsom will be able to win another election. We have the signatures that we need, but as you know, they will verify signatures and they will toss a lot of signatures out. So we have to continue to push throughout March 7th. That's why my campaign got involved in the recall. When it comes to electing another governor, I highly doubt that Gavin Newsom will be reelected. I mean, he's probably been one of the worst governors I've ever seen in my lifetime. He governs like he's bipolar. And I don't think that's, you know, going to be positive for the future of California. So we are looking for someone who has a plan to rebuild California, to fix our economy, and, you know, not just someone who's running because everyone hates Gavin Newsom.
Joe, what's the feeling been from even Democrats, you know, regarding the governor? Are they looking for someone else to lead the state?
You know, I would hope that the Democrats would be looking for someone to replace Gavin Newsom, as the Republican Party is doing the same thing. But I'll tell you this, one thing that's been truly amazing is that Democrats, Republicans, and independents has been able to work together, on a bipartisan level in order to gain the signatures that we need to remove Gavin Newsom. I know throughout my congressional campaign, we've been able to work with Democrats and independents and Republicans to, change the narrative of California being a big blue state. And I think that positivity is moving forward through this recall.
All right. Joe Collins, thank you so much for your insight. Always great to have you, and keep us posted on what's going on in California. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.